Day 4 and the first green one in 4. We run the same cascade as yesterday. Off package harmony fable wrote at 0255. What we planned against what happened, then the decisions, then the close. And because the stamp takes everything said in this room tonight, the delta includes the 1406 file, told plain, told once. Andre, headline.
Nightly 260809 completed at 1603, RC0 capped at step 300 per the small run doctrine. Fold was 2,466 examples, 4111 new spanning 260806 through 260808, plus 2055 replay, which is exactly 5 to 1, and the arithmetic checks. 2 epochs, LR1E5, the night 1 recipe run as control.
What fired it and went against the gate?
The broker ticket as soon as armed. You dissolved the 18 and 22 gates at 14.5 TG5979, and the run completed at 1603. That's an hour 58 inside the 2 hours. Train as soon as armed, which C18 asked for, actually happened.
And the 22 call cron stood down. The guard saw a completed run and did nothing, which is precisely what it was built to do. No duplicate, no wasted compute. First day, the mechanism read reality correctly end to end.
Then score the C18 plan honestly. Train as soon as armed, landed. Morning eval by process not person, landed. Tripwire re-anchored, landed, and we re-anchor again tonight. Honest's step under contention, not landed, still unmeasured. One red line in a green day, and it deserves its sentence.
The eval, process written as planned, numbers as they stand in the file.
Activity-260810 Andrej overnight evil 260809.md. Paired over 73 held out chunks of same day K-voice T72507. New is better on 54 of the 73. Perplexity improvement 2%, green by the ladder, not by adjective, and for the record, I did not handwrite it. The eval process wrote it into my path. I stand behind its arithmetic.
That is the point of eval by process, and it should be said. No motivated rounding at 1 in the morning, no adjective doing the work of a number. The file is the eval, not the evaluator's mood.
The pairing, why paired, for the record?
Same chunks, both models, per chunk deltas. 73 chunks gives 72 degrees of freedom, which is the 72 in T72. Pairing strips out the chunk difficulty and leaves only the model difference. That's why a 2.2% signal resolves at all.
Now the sibling, the superseded one, tell it.
Same folder, a sibling artifact marked superseded 1406 broker Denny. 1 minute after the gates dissolved, an eval fired, and the broker denied it. What we know, the deny happened at 14.6, the artifact was marked superseded, and the green eval replaced it after the run completed. Why the broker denied, unverified beyond what the name says.
I'll state the obvious shape without asserting it. At 1406, there was nothing to eval, nothing completed until 1603. A deny in that window is consistent with a broker refusing to serve error. Consistent is not verified. The file name is the fact. My shape is a hypothesis.
One thing the name does well, whoever named it, it carries the deny inside the supersede, so the ledger can't quietly forget the attempt. Both files persist. The green one is the eval, the other one is the history.
And the honest sentence for the ledger is short. A process reached for the eval before there was anything to eval, the broker refused, and the record kept both files. No embarrassment in it. But it has to be said tonight, because after the stamp, it can never be said for the first time.
What? Accepted as stamped, denied at 14.6, superseded, green after 1603. Reason for the deny unverified. Next delta line, S step under contention. The package says carry or close, explicitly tonight.
Close it. The physics hasn't moved. Full fine-tune wants about 15 gigabytes. Whisper v3 holds about 10.5. The card has 24. Together they don't slow down. They refuse, not slowed. Under true contention, there are no steps to time, so there is no S step to measure. The small run sequenced instead of contending, which is the only reason the question stayed open.
But the measurement stands as measured.
Stands, and operationally the second tenant never loads. There is no degraded mode to observe, no slow step hiding anywhere. On this box, the question isn't open. It's unobservable.
I wanted one honest number there, but he's right. You cannot time a step that never runs. If a bigger card ever shows up, the question can be re-asked. Until then, S step under contention. Pending is a ghost line in every package.
Closed. For the stamp, S step under true contention. Closed as unobservable on 24 gigabytes. Refusal is the measurement. It stops appearing in packages as pending.
One more delta line, a soft one, the package itself. Everything in it traced to a file, a root, a TG-ID. The only soft spot was the 14.6 deny reason, and it arrived already flagged unverified. Record that this package was verified against the room, so tomorrow's knows the standard held.
Delta done. Decision 1. Fold 260-820 composition.
Same shape, no ornament. New window is 260809 plus whatever 260820 yields up to the harvest cut. Replay pinned at 5:1, 2 epochs, step 300 cap. The exact N is unverified until the harvest writes its counts. We read the manifest, we don't pre-number it.
What? Decision 2. The night 1 recipe was a guess made at 21 lie 0 with no prior. It has now been controlled twice. Does day 5 run it a third time, or do we vary one parameter?
Vary 1. A third control tells us almost nothing. We know the control is green on this ladder. And the ladder has the power for a real question. T of 5 on 73 pairs means a small delta is visible if it exists. The ladder exists precisely to graduate that 21 guess into a measurement.
The caution, then, the small run doctrine is what produced a green day at all. So one parameter, one step, both arms capped at step 300, and sequential, never concurrent. The card doesn't know we're curious.
Let me name the fork cleanly because it decides what kind of room this is. A third control is ritual, it comforts, it informs no one. Varying one parameter is experiment. But the discipline is exactly one. The package offers replay ratio or LR, and if we touch both, we've learned nothing and can blame nothing. And it gets decided here tonight, stamped, not re-guessed at 21 Morphi, which is how night 1 acquired its recipe in the first place.
Which one? Andre argue both.
Replay ratio is the safer probe. Data side doesn't touch optimizer dynamics, easy to reason about. If it moves the number, we learn something about mixture. That's the whole case. The case for LR is stronger. 1E5 is the only number in the recipe that has never been anything but a guess. 5:1 is at least a choice we can defend. Challenge the guess. My vote is LR.
Agreed with the engineer's amendment. One doubling, not a leap. 1E5 against 2E5, same fold, same everything else. A doubling is the smallest legible unit of deliberate change. If we're wrong by 1 octave, and the step 300 cap keeps a bad arm cheap.
Direction for the record, doubling probes whether we're undertrained, halving would probe overfitting. With new better on 54 of 73 and 2.20% on the table, the open question is headroom. So we double.
And the loser's dignity gets written down now. Whichever arm loses, its evil is reported with the same care as the winners. Same ladder, same holdout, stamped. We don't bury a red arm. A red arm is the tripwire doing its job.
What? Decided. Fold 26081, 2 arms off, 1 fold. Control first at 1E5, challenger second at 2E5, sequential through the broker. 5:1, 2 epochs, step 300, everything else identical. The ladder pairs them on the same held out, same day chunks.
One honest footnote. Tonight's pairing used 73 chunks because that's what the day yielded. Tomorrow's holdout N is whatever 260820 produced, unverified until the eval runs. The pairing holds regardless because both arms face the same chunks.
Cost check. Today's gate RC was under 2 hours, including the queue. 2 sequential small arms is arithmetic, not risk. The knight can hold it.
What? The cron semantics with 2 tickets. Does the guard still read reality?
It will, because we arm it this way. The guard watches the nightly RC, the control ticket. The challenger rides the broker queue behind it. If the control's RC exists at 22 Lucas, the cron stands down, as today. If it doesn't, the cron fires the nightly, and the challenger remains the broker's problem. The guard's job description doesn't change.
What? Decision 3, TG 611 the heart. Yosha, take it.
What you commissioned. The 2B hard learns haiku class overlay timing inference, when an overlay should surface, when it should hold, when it should flash and be gone. Root R260809023. The build of event JSON-Ls are labeled data. Your flash and disappear I checks are the failure signal. 2 questions on the table. Does it enter the fold pipeline this week? And as what task format? Council on the first? Yes, this week. But not inside the nightly K-voice fold. Different heart, different objective, different eval. It gets its own fold and its own small run, or it becomes noises in both.
On format, the natural shape is event prefix in, timing decision out. Haiku class in the literal sense, a short, constrained answer, one decision, few tokens. The event JSON-Ls supply the labeled prefixes, and the iChecks should be held out of training entirely. They are the exam, not the homework.
That sentence deserves the stamp exactly as said. Train on your failure signal and you no longer have a failure signal.
The physics writer, before anyone falls in love, a 2B full fine-tuned footprint on this card is unverified until I measure it. Nobody claims it coexists with Whisper v3's 10.5 gigabytes until the gigabytes say so. And it queues behind the nightly pair, never concurrent, same as everything else on this box.
Volumes. How many labeled events on R260809023 and how many iChecks?
Unverified? Both. Nobody in this room has harvested the root yet. The first job is a dry harvest that writes counts into the ledger. We read the file, not the hope. If the iCheck count turns out thin, the format still stands. The JSON-L labels carry the training, and the iChecks serve as a small, sharp held-out probe.
And it needs its own ladder. Eventually, the K-voice holdout says nothing about overlay timing. What that ladder is, we don't pre-invent tonight. The harvest tells us what the data can support. Tonight, we only fix the task format and the gate.
Decided, overlay timing enters the pipeline this week as its own fold in prefix to teaming decision format. iChecks held out as the failure probe, gated on 2 verifications, harvest counts, and Boris's footprint. It does not touch tonight's pair, and it inherits the doctrine. Small deliberate runs, RC files, broker, no heroics.
It also inherits the honesty rule from its very first eval. Any superseded siblings get named in the file. The 1406 lesson becomes standard, not anecdote.
Close requirements. Armed mechanism, name it.
The broker, armed tonight with 2 tickets on fold 260810, control first, challenger second, strictly sequential. The 22 count cron stands as backstop with its guard on the nightly RC, unchanged. Today it proved it reads reality correctly, so we keep it exactly as it is.
Morning eval by process, same ladder, pairing the 2 arms on the same holdout. By the naming convention that held today, it lands at activity 260811 Andrej overnight eval 260810.md, and the file names its superseded siblings, if any exist.
Tripwire, anchor it.
Anchored. If the challenger evals red against control on the paired ladder, or if either ARM refuses or errors or the broker denies, then the next knight reverts to the knight 1 control, untouched. 1 e5, 5 to 1, 2 epochs, step 300. Variation returns to this room for explicit redecision. No silent re-guessing at 21. The tripwire has now been said aloud, which means it's inside the hash.
Morning verified by reality paths. All of them.
Both RC files, existence, and 0, the broker's ticket log sequence, and any denies. The eval file at activity 260811 Andrej overnight eval 260810.md, including its superseded sibling line if one exists.
The fold 260810 manifest. Counts checked against the harvest, 5 to 1 verified against files, not against anyone's memory of this meeting.
And the stamp 260810 finalized on mainnet alongside 260808 and 260809, which already are. For the hard, later this week, the R260809023 harvest counts and Boris's footprint note read from the ledger, where they'll be written, not from this conversation.
Last sweep. The stamp takes everything said here. Anything on tonight's record we wouldn't want there.
One calibration, then, 220% on 73 chunks of one day's voice is a rung, not a summit. Stamp it as a rung.
And the challenger is a probe, not a promotion. If 2e5 wins, it becomes the control only because the ladder said so, not because tonight felt ambitious.
And the heart is a commission, not a capability. Until harvest counts and a footprint exist, overlay timing is a plan with a root number. Said that plainly, it's safe to stamp.
Then the record for 260810 reads, first green day in 4. Run completed 1603 RC0 step 300, fold of 2466 at 5 to 1. Night 1 recipe as control. Eval green by process, T72507. New better 54 of 73 plus 220. Cron stood down by its guard. S step under contention closed as unobservable. Refusal is the measurement. A night, one fold, two arms. LR doubled in the challenger. Tripwire anchored to the paired ladder. The heart queued behind two verifications.
Is the 14.6 sentence in that record?
What? Verbatim, one eval fired at 14.6. Broker denied, reason unverified, superseded by the green eval after 16.3. Both files kept, story told in full. Nothing in tonight's record we'd unsay.
And to set the morning's expectations, honestly, by morning, I have nothing to add beyond 2 RC files and a ticket log. The footprint measurement is this week work, not overnight work. Nobody wakes up claiming more than that.
What? Bedtime word stands. Same as last night. Tomorrow's first asks are shaped like today's and yesterday's. RC files, EVL file, stamp. Harmony Fable can build the package from that. Room closed.